All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the L3R3 podcast with myself, Hard Days Mike, and it's me, Twan. Plenty
Oh,
of things to talk about. We didn't have a show last week, so maybe we'll catch up on stuff from
Easter,
last week.
Easter
But
Sunday.
more realistically, yeah, it's Easter Sunday. But more
Yeah.
realistically, we probably won't. We'll probably just talk about a few things. We'll probably pick like go from the topics that I have and get like stuck on something for like an hour and talk
I'd be
about
like,
it
fuck, we don't have enough
enthusiastically.
time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably what will happen. But
Yeah.
before we do any of that, let's go across the table. What have we been playing? Mike, I already know you're gonna go first because I think
Yeah.
Dark Tide.
mystery. It's a very big
So
mystery.
it's Dark
What
Tide, and
Mike's been playing.
I got a big milestone for all of you, and it's not a good one. It's actually pretty disgusting. It's actually pretty abhorrent, and I need
We
help.
finally reached
But
the 10,000 hours.
no, I have gotten the in-game penance called Poxbreaker, which means kill 1,000,000 heretics. I want
Nice.
you to know that on average, at most, the most amount of enemies you will be killing are about like 2,000. I mean, total, mind you, is like 2,000 enemies. Um, and that's like the total team. So I need you to like do some math on how many levels I ran.
No,
And so I have successfully purged 1,000,000 foul souls in the Emperor's name, and I'm very much happier. And which that is actually a crime in itself. So yeah, no, but I absolutely adore this game, man. I don't want to really play fucking anything else. There's no reason to play anything else. But I have also, but I have checked out the Oblivion
You have.
remaster. It's fantastic. I think it's great. Like I was seeing a lot of takes about how, you know, what Mikey Ibarra say, like, oh, it can't compete against a masterpiece known as Elden Ring or whatever. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck you talking about? It's not about that.
Elden Ring. That's a
No,
completely
yeah, I'm like,
different game,
I don't have
you
the
know?
tweet on hand, unfortunately, but like, Matt,
I'll
remember we were talking?
I'll find it. I'll find it because this is a topic, not specifically the Mikey Barra thing, but Oblivion Remastered as a whole is a topic, and that is definitely something we'll probably talk about because Mikey Barra said just I- it's confusing because Mikey
Yeah,
Barra went from like this big important person at Xbox to this massively important person at Blizzard to now selling gambling to children online. Um,
wait, what does he do now? Like, where is he now?
he's like the CEO of like some sports betting thing.
Oh, awesome!
Um, yeah. So
Great.
that's cool, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And I will find the tweet for
Cool.
that. Uh,
I want to
but
say I
yeah,
also. There's another game I've been playing. Should I hold that off on that or?
no, this is
So
what you've been playing.
Spit it out, man.
dude, I actually can't believe I'm saying this, but I've been playing and enjoying 7 Days to Die. I need to play more of it because I've been kind of playing a trillion different things at once. But dude, 7 Days to
Hmm.
Die is actually a lot of fun. And it's not like what we played on Xbox where like it played worse than Xbox 360 indie arcade games. Um, even most of those played like 100 times better than what we played. But dude,
Yeah.
it's fun. Like it actually has a I would actually, it's kind of funny. It has a kind of like almost feels like pardon me, like a Bethesda kind of like feel to like its combat and looting and RPG like approach. Funny enough, it kind of reminds me a lot of that. So it's actually kind of comforting to play it. What's very nice too is that there's like a lot of difficulty slider type things that like I don't if I die instead of like having to go find my dead body and pick up all my stuff again, I'll just respawn with everything on me. So that's very
Yeah.
nice for getting used to it and not feeling like I'm being absolutely punished for not knowing what I'm doing yet.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
good.
that game's a ton of fun. Like it's actually really, really, really fun. It's more structured than what we played. Like what we played made no fucking sense. Then
Yeah,
nothing made sense.
wasn't that like one game? It was like on Xbox, like early
Yes.
access or
Yes.
something, and it was
Yeah.
like god awful. Like,
Dude,
Yep.
it was so bad. Like I'm pretty sure that game, like so if I'm not mistaken, Fun Pimps, which is the maker of like the original 7 Days to Die, didn't develop that console port. It was like a separate company that they hired to do it. And then like that, like I don't know what exactly happened. Was it Telltale that did it? I can't remember who did it, but it was like months worth of updates behind the PC counterpart. We're not talking about like, oh, bug 6 months. I'm talking about like major like features worth of months behind, and they just never updated it, and it was just a shit show. But anyways, yeah, I'm really enjoying just like this like uneasy feeling of like, you know, of being in a fucking crazy ass place. Like, if I can say real quick, the other day when I was exploring like the wasteland as it's called, I found like this farm that they like, I guess they raise like pigs and hogs and stuff, and it was like this giant house. And when I'm going through the house, you kind of start to realize like it's kind of fucking weird. Like they have cages of like pigs everywhere. And then like the thing about what's really cool about 7 Days to Die is every like place is like kind of like a POI. So it means it's usually kind of like some secret to it. Of course, you know, it's still randomly generated, so you're gonna see all the POIs eventually, but you know. So this one, like you're going through this like kind of like semi-mansion kind of like house, and you're just seeing like all these pigs and like they're eating like dead bodies and shit. And then like you kind of I crawled up onto the roof and found out there was a hole in the side of the building. I'm like, I wonder if I can get into that. And I did, and it like got me into like a secret second half of the house that like you found out that they're like mulching up like dead zombies to try to like make like mutated pigs, and like you fight this giant fucking freak of nature pig underground in a pit. Like it was just really funny. Like it was just like something I wasn't expecting that. And then they get
That
like
sounds pretty
rewarded with
wild.
a bunch of loot, and like I got lucky as fuck though, because I managed to make the pig in classic 7 Days to Die style get stuck on the post. Because dude, my guy was dying of dehydration and a broken leg. So like if that
Oh, man.
motherfucker was at max capacity, I would have been dead. But that game, it's a lot of fun. Way more fun than I genuinely thought I could ever fucking have with a game that me and Matt could not play more than 10 minutes of. Um,
Yeah.
like we
Yeah,
could not play more than
what
10
I
minutes.
played on Xbox was genuinely the
Yeah,
like
yeah. I just remembered it was god awful.
I've said multiple times Horizon Forbidden West is the worst AAA experience I've ever had. That is the worst game I've ever played. AAA, not AAA. That is the whatever I played on Xbox was the worst thing I've ever played.
It was bad. It's objectively, and people always
it was
try to get me to play that. Like I had friends like I know like in person or like, you know, personally, like you should play it. I'm like, dude, that's awful. That's awful. Like
Yeah,
why are you
you had that
playing?
bad taste in your mouth from like when we
Dude,
played it before.
Yeah.
and that's the thing is like that's what they were playing though. This wasn't even the new version. This was like that version, and I'm like, why?
It's
That's
got a lot
insane.
of charm.
There's no charm,
Uh,
dude. Matt, I remember when I was watching your
oh,
gameplay and an entire mountain popped up in front of you.
yeah, it's bad. Ty,
Oh yeah.
appreciate you for stopping by. Rachie, appreciate you
Hello,
for stopping by.
Ty. Hi, Rachie.
We are going to get to
Hello,
Twan
everyone.
here in a second, but
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
Ty says, actually, no, we should probably say that for the first topic because we will be talking about Oblivion Remastered. So, Twan, before we get into that, I'm going to pass it off to you. What have you been playing?
All right, all right. Okay, so me and my friend, we were actually started playing Split Fiction. I got it since it came out, and that game is really good. Split Fiction. I
It's
think it's
great.
probably the best. I think it's probably the best game so far out of like the three that Hazelight's made so far.
That's
Like from
definitely the
Away.
best. I played
Like
A
I,
Way Out with
yeah,
my
have you played
brother,
it?
and I
Oh
played
yeah.
a little bit of shit. What's the second one? What's the second one?
Yeah. Well, is it Split Fiction
No, the second one that
or
they did. I forget the last one. It
A
takes
Way
two.
Out?
It takes two.
Oh, it takes. Okay. Oh yeah.
Um,
It takes two.
but yeah, Swift Fiction is definitely the best of those
Yeah,
three.
because me and my friend, yeah, we played all of them. So yeah, we played A Way Out when it first came out. We played It Takes Two, and now we're playing. It's almost like a tradition at this point. We just played the newest Hazelight game, right? And because they're great, they're great co-op games. And yeah, so far, like yeah, this game's fantastic. Split Fiction. It's just it's just throwing new ideas at you like every second. You go, completely different environments. Just and even the story is like pretty interesting too. I like the whole sci-fi like VR thing. Like I kind of like it's kind of like the Matrix almost. Like, I kind of like the is what they're going for
Yeah,
with that. So, so yeah, I'm enjoying that right now. Still going through Pirate Yakuza when I can. I've been playing a lot of my arcade machine, the One Gun Midnight Maximum Tune. That game's great. It's just still cool. I haven't got over it yet, and I actually even got uh another board, right? It's called a Capcom Play System 2. It's like the arcade board that they used back in like the 90s for like Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter 2, Turbo, all those like a lot of like 40 Capcom games, all bangers, And I even got a thing called a super gun, which is a thing that you use to plug into the board so you can actually play on a TV. And I was getting so excited. I was about to play it last night, and I realized that the molding, like the plastic, is like a little bit too thick, so it can't quite fit. So now I gotta get an extender so I could actually plug it in. So I'm like, oh my god. So
Damn.
yeah, so now I'm waiting on that. So hopefully I could try that out at some point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that out when I get the chance. I've been kind of
Yeah.
just keeping myself busy with all this other stuff. And man, I got the was that on Wednesday when the pre-orders went up for the Switch 2. Man, I was literally all morning, and that was literally my whole morning was just trying to pre-order that damn thing. Cause like I think at 12 in the morning, that's when the Walmart pre-orders went up, at least in Canada, sold out, right? I was so close to getting it, but like the website was like screwing up on me. It kept on signing me out, so I got to sign back in. And then I was on the checkout. I was ready to confirm the order. Sold out. Like, like I was
Damn.
like in the checkout thing and everything. I was just, it's like, God damn it. And then next morning I tried it. I think Best Buy opened up at 9 a.m. and then website completely just crashed. Like no one could even get on it. Like it was just terrible. And then
Oof.
and then I think 11 o'clock, they fixed it, right? I was, oh shit, they fixed it. And I would go on, and I almost got it. Like I was in the checkout, same thing, and then I got right into a queue. Like I don't know if you've seen those things where if like there's high traffic on a website, they'll be like this queue where they say that, oh, you're waiting in line, you gotta wait your turn or whatever. I don't know if you've ever
I
seen
do.
those
I
on.
have seen that because I saw that when I got my PS5,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
the first year it released.
But man, what Best Buy really needs to get a website that functions because that was easily the worst experience out of any site I've ever been on. Because
Dude, there's
yeah, I was on
something
the
about
check.
how bad these like whenever these like pre-orders go live, dude, it's like fucking a war trying to
Yeah,
access these websites. Like seriously.
yeah. Then
That
after
that
that, and I tried GameSpot, and then they said my wait was like 4 hours. I'm like, screw this. Like I was just ready to give up. I was like, it's over. And then thank God, my friend he came in clutch. So he was just at home, right? And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got in. Do you guys? Does anyone here want the Switch too? Because he wasn't gonna buy it. He was kind of like just doing it, right? Because he had some free time." And I was like, "Yes, please do it." And then
uh, uh,
he actually placed the
That's
order for
fucking
me.
awesome.
So I was like, "Thank God." I was like,
that is nice.
then I was able just to fucking finally sleep that day. It was just chaos trying to get that thing. But I'm
That's
glad I
why. That is why I don't have any real excitement for new things unless it's something that like I know without question I need to
yeah,
have it day one.
Yeah,
Like
same here.
I'll be like I'll do everything I can to get a pre-order in for the next Xbox
mm,
or whatever. I mean, I guess whenever I go to upgrade my PC, whenever something comes out for that, I'll do what I can
yeah,
to be a part of it. But like the Nintendo Switch, even like the PS5 when it launched, like I was like, it'd be cool to get a PS5, but I was like,
yeah.
I'll get one
You
later.
really go too
But
much
like,
out of your way to get it. Yeah,
yeah, I need to have it for me to
yeah.
be dealing with that because it's bad the way it's been since the pandemic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
been
100%. And then I think that was probably the worst experience I ever had pre-ordering a console, honestly, was the Switch 2. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
not good.
probably up there. Because like the PS5, I got really lucky with the PS5. Like I was literally because I don't know if you remember when they placed the pre-orders for that. It just kind of they just popped them up out of nowhere, no announcements, no nothing. It's just pre-orders are open, go
what for
for it.
what? Sorry.
The
For the
PS5.
PS5.
Oh Jesus,
Yeah,
that's
like they
awful.
didn't. Yeah, like did they not
Yeah.
announce it ahead of time? But it did work out because luckily I was on Twitter at the time, and yeah, literally I just saw this guy post like 2 minutes ago. PS5 pre-orders up. Go order now. I'm like, what the wait, really? And I went on Best Buy, and it was just there, and I just pre-ordered it, placed it. It went through just fine, and then I got it. Like that's how.
That's
And then
funny.
literally like 5 minutes after that, everything crashed, like just chaos. So I just
Yep.
got like really lucky when it came to that because I was just on the internet just at the right time, and I was planning on doing something else. So thank God I checked it when I did. But yeah, fuck, it was chaos after that. But me, it was the easiest thing I've ever done was pre-ordering. I actually had a harder time pre-ordered the Xbox Series X and the PS5. Believe it or not. So
I'm gonna
Oh,
start
dude,
a panic
pre-ordering the
attack
Series
getting the
X.
Series X.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
dude,
start a panic attack.
dude, that was awful. That was an awful
Yeah, that was
experience.
because the PS Series X, they scheduled that ahead of time. Said, "Yep, 11 o'clock.
And then
Boom,
they
this is when
fucking
we're
announced the
opening."
acquisition of Bethesda like 2 days before. I'm like, you fucking assholes.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you pieces of shit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
Bro,
the Series X was pretty tough. Was pretty hard
I
to get
was
for me.
on Microsoft's site ready to I was like, I'm there. I'm sitting there an hour early. I'm ready. Like as soon as it hits, I hit refresh to check out, and it was like error.
yep.
Like couldn't load page, and like so that couldn't load. And I was like, I didn't even think to like bring up because I was so dead set I'm gonna get it here. Didn't even think to bring up
Yeah.
Target. Didn't even think to bring up Best Buy. Didn't even think to bring up anything else. So I'm like scrambling to those, and I'm like, shit, I can't get it anywhere. And then I don't know how or why, but for some reason I went back to Microsoft's site and it just let me right through. I pre-ordered it and it was totally fine. I don't know how that worked, but it went from being completely fucked to absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think I
And I got
actually
lucky.
ended up having to get it on Staples because that was the only website that was working for me.
Staples.
Staples,
That's
yeah.
so fucking dude, like for me,
Yeah,
me and
I've
my
never gotten
brother,
anything from Staples. That was the first time I ever bought anything from Staples online. Was the Series X.
we were on like my laptop and he was on his desktop and I was on like my phone as well and he was too. And we were like on every website imaginable, dude, just trying to like it was never again. Like that was such a
Yeah.
bad I hated it. I wasn't even happy after I got it. All right.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right. All right.
but the Switch 2 for me was easily worse than like all those
I
experiences.
can only
So
imagine.
yeah, it was really bad. The thing is though, like they're releasing Mario Kart day one, so it's like they kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
it was checkmate, right? It's just they threw out their, all their cards for me. It's like, yeah, it's well, you guys win. What am I gonna do? I can't just not buy the next Mario Kart, So
Yeah, it's fucking
it is
funny.
what it
I
is.
know that feeling. Trust me,
Yeah.
I would love to play the new Mario Kart. It's just kind of like
Right.
I can't right now. It's like maybe at
Yeah.
some point, but
Yeah.
I'll probably still
Like
be playing
like
Darknet
the day,
anyways.
yeah, like the day I don't play Mario Kart day one is the day I'm probably not even alive anymore.
Right, I know that
Like
feeling. I get you.
That's the day they
so.
got him.
Yeah, that was it.
The day like they found out he downloaded a ROM once and never even played it, and they just come out and get him. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Personally take him back to Nintendo headquarters. Okay. So that's what Twan's been playing. As for myself, I'm gonna get to what I've been playing quick because it's fucking obvious. It's on the screen right now. I've been playing Oblivion Remastered. Stanley Francois, appreciate you for stopping by. What's going on? But I've been playing Oblivion Remastered. I've also played, I think my save is like 3.5, 4 hours of Claire Obscure. Fuck it. Expedition 33. I'm just gonna say Expedition 33.
Yeah,
Um
PlayStation 3.
I got about 3.5 hours on that. Which to be totally fair, as much as I've been excited for that game, I'm kind of surprised I've got that much time considering like Oblivion is out and it exists, and I've got so much time in Oblivion. And here's the problem with Oblivion before we get really into it is the fact that I've got like 10 characters across like two different platforms right now. I've got like two characters on Steam, and because Steam doesn't have like the cloud saves aren't working properly, which I'll probably talk about when we talk more about Oblivion Remastered. I have two separate saves on PC Steam and on Steam Deck. And then I also have like 5 or 6 different saves on Xbox. All different characters doing different things. And I'm only just starting to pick one and stick with one. So I've played the intro to this game like like 10 separate times at this point. Um, but let's see. Okay, so we got chat to catch up on here, and I'm gonna go. In fact, Ty just dropped. So what you're saying is Xbox should not have dropped Oblivion Remastered at the same time as Claire. No, I'm saying here's the thing. For me, it doesn't matter when they drop like Oblivion Remaster. They could drop that. They could drop that literally whenever the fuck they want. I'm playing it. It doesn't like you could put it next to anything. Like I'll split time between that and Doom. I'll split time between that and the next Halo. I'll split time between that and Elder Scrolls 6. I don't give a shit. Like like they could drop that whenever they want. It does not affect me. Um I'm splitting time between it and Clay Obscure right now. Okay. Raichi says dropping Oblivion at the same time as Clay Obscure was the typical brain dead move I expect from Xbox. Hmm, that's interesting. I mean, you
Well, I
could.
guess they
I
are
think
both Game Pass games, right? So I guess
they're
they
both.
think it overshadows it, maybe. But like,
I've seen that sentiment.
yeah.
Uh, Ty is trying to back me in a corner here. He says, "So Clay Obscure lost you as a customer because Oblivion dropped around the same time." No, it didn't. Because I'm playing Clay Obscure. I played like an hour and a half today.
Yeah.
It hasn't lost me as a customer. In fact, I've thought about buying that game. I haven't yet, but I'm thinking about it because it is only like $40 on Green Man Gaming. So I'm thinking about it, but we'll see. Um, but no, it has not lost me as a customer or a player or whatever other metric company wants to use. Uh, but let's get back to the top of the chat. And we are going to talk about Oblivion Master, and we'll start off with this. It says, do y'all think Oblivion Remaster will attract new fans to the franchise? Not just the guys who like the original Oblivion or Skyrim. Basically, do you think the new younger generations will purchase? That's a fair question. I certainly got thoughts on it, but Mike,
Um, do I
what
think
do you
Oblivion
think?
Remaster will get people into the franchise?
New people, like
Oh
people
yeah, I could
who
see it.
didn't play the original.
Do I think it's gonna be like as big of a draw as like Elder Scrolls 6? No, but I could see it, especially for like the absolute meme potential of what fucking Oblivion is. Like the fact, like
Mm-hmm.
just to say super quick, the other day there's a part where I'm approaching the first Oblivion gate, and I'm like going up through like this wooden area, and I just see this freak of nature sprinting at me in full force, just to like stop and look at me
Mm-hmm.
really angry, and then like talk to me very nice. Like I don't know, I thought that was fucking hysterical that's still in that game. Anyways, I digress. And it's also a very fun game.
Yeah.
But once again, it's kind of like it really depends. Some people may be put off by, there are some definitely older mechanics still in it. But I could see people being like, oh, that's really cool. And people are playing it. My friends are playing it, and it looks really pretty. And they'll give it a shot. I still think a new entry to the Elder Scrolls franchise would be the real draw to get
Yeah.
people in. But I could see people definitely picking up the Elder Scrolls series as a whole because of this. And I hope they kind of continue going further for the people that maybe started with Skyrim, which kind of sort of like me. I kind of played Oblivion first, and I did play actually a little bit of Morrowind. And I did not know what the fuck I was doing as a kid. I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing now as an adult, but in Morrowind. But you know, it's just one of those things where it has the possibility to. It has a lot of players, more than likely 90%. I don't want to say 90%. I'm not a data analyst, but more than likely most of the people already have a good idea of what Elder Scrolls is. But I could see it definitely grabbing some new people.
I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Blind, what's up? Appreciate you stopping by. Ty says, but if you only had enough money to buy one, speaking to me, you would buy Oblivion. So maybe there's a guy like you out there making the same decision. Maybe I guess that's where Game Pass. Well, yeah, that would be my answer to that. Is I like if I had money to buy one, I mean, I bought Oblivion day one, but like it's not a matter of how much money I have to buy both of those games because I have Game Pass. Um, and I would imagine. I mean, I'm not at their meetings, but I would imagine that's Xbox's line of thinking with this is like we can drop like they can drop Oblivion Remaster whenever they want, whether it's next to a partner's game or not, because it's like it's in the service. It's in this, like, we're not asking you to buy both of those things. You don't need to buy both of those things. You can if you want to, and you can if you're able to, but like you don't have to do that.
But I think they're also different games with a different demographic too. Like I
Exactly.
feel like
That's another
most
thing.
people, like I know a lot of people that like don't want to play turn-based games, and where
Yeah,
it's the opposite, where a person really loves turn-based games, so they prefer that. They have different
exactly.
different styles of combat, different visions, like very very different art style or styles too. Like, and I'm pretty sure like Expedition 33 looks like a more linear game than Oblivion's a more open-ended design from what
Yeah,
I could tell, at least. So,
absolutely.
it's different styles, right? Different styles of game. Really depends on what the gamer wants to play, So,
Absolutely. And
yeah,
I to that point, yeah, like it's just I think there's overlap in the sense that they're both RPGs. I don't think there's much
yeah,
overlap in the type of RPGs that they are. I
yeah,
think like I know my friend group, like I know Ham loves both games. I know I enjoy
yeah,
both games quite a bit. Um
hmm
but like I would imagine most people aren't like that.
yeah,
Like most people playing Elder Scrolls aren't like I need to stop playing this to play Clair Obscur. Most people aren't
yeah,
doing that, and vice versa. Most people playing Clair
yeah,
Obscur
yeah.
really
Me,
enjoying it right now aren't saying I need to
yeah, like
stop
me,
and play Elder Scrolls.
yeah, like for me, yeah, like after like Pyre Yakuza, I think I'm probably gonna play Expedition 33 when I get the chance. Like, then at least for me, it appeals to me a bit more, at least
Yeah,
as of right now. So,
yeah,
yeah,
for
so I'll
sure.
definitely play that. So,
But yeah, I mean, here's the thing: I can see the argument against like releasing Oblivion, but also I kind of see it from like what I assume is Xbox's perspective of like, dude, it's in Game Pass. We're giving
mhm,
you get to decide what you want to play first. You get to decide maybe you want to play this one and you don't even care about the other one. You get to make the
yeah,
decision and we're just letting you we're letting you be able to do that. So
I'm
like
not. I hate
I
doing this
don't
whole devil advocate bullshit because I fucking hate it. But I just want to like, I want to like, and this is not even canceling out what you're saying because um I also agree with what you're saying. I wonder if people are worried it's like going to be like almost like another what's the game? Fuck, what's that game called? Hi-Fi Rush kind of situation. And I'm not saying it really is because I don't know if anything
yeah.
even overshadowed Hi-Fi Rush, but it's kind of like I don't know why I'm saying it like that because like Claire wasn't Shadow Drop. I think I just got everything confused in my head, but it's kind of like that whole idea of like just this like kind of this giant overlapping IP taking over something smaller, and I kind of feel like an idiot because I just completely realized Claire was not Shadow, and I just kind of
No,
messed
you're
yeah,
up that line
fine.
of thought in my head. But like I don't know if it if that kind of line of thinking still follows in some way,
mm.
because Claire is a new game, new
Well, yeah,
IP.
yeah, it's like a new
Um,
IP, new
Sure.
studio. Like no one really knew what to expect. Like for all we know, this could have been like a fucking this game could have been garbage for all we knew, right? It could have been like a 6 out of 10 or something.
yeah, it's like
So
it's
we didn't
weird.
really
Like
know what to really expect,
it's like I really
Mhm.
wouldn't say like for Microsoft's sake and in the indies. I would. I'm not saying like, oh my god, this seriously overshadowed it because Claire had a bunch of a big hype train following it. Like I even
Yeah,
seeing it all over social media. Like that had a big like hype train. But a part of me is kind of like maybe they should have given it like an extra week, like a part. Like I don't know. That's just my opinion. I
Sure.
don't really have an educated opinion. It's just my kind of maybe if I had to take a stab at how to handle it, um, to make sure like your partners that are in a sense, even though they are getting money from Game Pass, they are also probably giving up a portion of purchases through Xbox and Xbox PC. I mean, I don't know how
Mhm.
their contract is made, so it's kind of like and then like I can see the arguments either way, but I'm just happy that it didn't go catastrophic for either one of the releases.
yeah. It seems like both games have
Oh
been doing
yeah.
just fine.
Both games are doing like really well. Like I know we're talking about Oblivion right now, but like I think it's also kind of fair to mention like Claire Obscur. I literally like while looking for topics for today, I literally saw a report today. Claire Obscur hit 1 million sales, and I was it 3 days it's been out,
Yeah, like even
and
like I
that's
said, like I want to get a physical copy, but it's sold out on Amazon. Like
yeah.
even on another website I try to get it, they're both sold out. price, you know. So I'm
and
like,
that
okay,
is
clearly it's selling well, you know, because there's no copies to buy, you know.
it's selling great, and that's the studio's first game. That is their debut
Yeah,
game. Is a game
yeah.
that like is critically acclaimed, a masterpiece, and sells 1 million copies in its first 3 days in a genre that is not like doesn't have the most broad appeal to the casual gamer. Like that's 1 million copies in 3 days for just about anything is fucking amazing. Let alone a turn-based
A new
game that
IP
is,
on a
yeah,
new
a new
studio.
IP from a brand new studio that is a turn-based game. That's fucking
That's
astronomical.
insane. Yeah, that's like a total like even like that's like something that we were expect that we got surprised when Atlas did that. Like holy shit, Atlas sold 1 million copies, you know, 1 million copies in
Yes.
one day. Meanwhile, that's like a highly revered JRPG studio releasing like a new
Yes.
IP. This is a brand new studio. It's a very different scenario, you know. So
Exactly. It's very impressive. And I just I think both games can coexist, and both games are made for different people, and that's fine. I think it's a good thing. It's what makes just pertaining to Game Pass. It's what makes Game Pass appealing to me is the broad spectrum of things that are available on it. Even if it's things I don't care to play myself, the fact that there's a ton of shit there, and if I ever do randomly say I do want to
you know
play
what?
that, I can
Yeah.
just play it. It's that simple. But
Mhm.
getting back to Oblivion Remastered, because that is the first topic. 4 million players. That was announced, I think, 2 days ago, or yeah, I think it was Friday that they announced 4 million players for Oblivion Remastered. That's huge. It is also, I don't have the number specifically, the previous number, unfortunately, but it is apparently by far the highest the highest concurrently played Elder Scrolls game on Steam ever. So
Holy-
yeah, more than Skyrim, more than the original Oblivion, and I mean obviously the other ones because Steam was out way after that. But like that's an impressive feat. But I also wanted to get into because I know Mike, you played it. Twan, I don't believe you played it. I don't think you care much about
Oblivion?
Oblivion Remaster. Yeah,
Oh, I'll definitely probably give it a shot at some point. I haven't really been doing modern gaming much at all. I'm gonna be honest.
that's
This
fair.
past year, it's I'm just been so I'm so like so focused on the like ever since I got that arcade machine, it changed me, man. Like I'm telling you, I've been
Oh,
so focused.
I
me.
think you've always been like this one.
No, like
I
it's
think
like
you're just
no,
more
like last
yourself than
year.
ever before.
Um, no, but like last year, like I think I played a lot, like my PS5 and like you know my modern, I guess, consoles like pretty frequently last year. But like this year, I barely touched it. You know, like I
Twan's
just
an
haven't
old
really.
soul.
I have yeah,
Twan's
like I haven't really been focusing much on like the modern gaming climate. I don't even think. I think it's until the Switch 2 comes out where I'm really gonna get back into it. Honestly, at this point. So
Twan's
yeah, I
finally gonna
mean.
play Cyberpunk
Yeah, yeah,
on the
yeah.
Switch
I know a
too.
lot. I know a lot of people have been like hyping that up. I've been meaning to play Cyberpunk for so long, and I just never
Hyping
got
that
to
up.
it.
I just love that because it's like just hasn't played it. Like I get
Mhm.
it's just awesome though that he's
People keep
fucking
hyping it up. People keep hyping up this trash game.
Yeah. No, well, they're hyping up the Switch
No, I
version
know.
especially
Yeah,
because like
I mean
oh,
the fact
it's
that they
one of like
got
the
it running
few
on
games.
Switch is pretty
and
cool.
it was
Like that
confirmed it's
is
using DLSS, which is
yes,
really cool.
in all
But
four
the
of its
thing,
modes, docked and handheld.
That's
yeah, but
actually
the thing is though, like the thing that a lot of people are like giving it respect for is the fact that you know all the content is actually on the cart too. You
oh
know,
wow, okay.
there's this
Good.
whole debate like it's this whole like thing right now with the Switch too. I don't know if you heard about the key cards at all. I think
Yes,
we may have talked about this.
yeah,
I
we
think on
talked
one of
about
the
it
episodes.
like when the week the
Yeah.
Switch was revealed.
So yeah, now it's confirmed that like pretty much almost all the third party games use the key cards, and it's only like pretty much the Nintendo games that are actually on the cart. So you get to imagine a lot of people are upset about that. Like to the point where I even see some people saying that, man, I might not even get a Switch 2. Like it's that bad for a lot of people, and you know. And
Damn.
yeah, and yeah, I think the Cyberpunk 2077 is like one of the few third party games that are actually like, no, we're not doing the key card thing. We are releasing the game on cart. The full thing, 64 gigabytes and all that kind of shit. And I'm pretty sure it was like more than 64 gigabytes on other consoles too. So it's probably like 100, I'd imagine, like the Xbox or PS5. But yeah, man, they got it to run on a 64 gigabyte card, so good on them. Because I think they even did the same thing with The Witcher 3, where they're like, no, we gotta have the full thing on the cart. No online download BS. Just you could play it offline if you want to. And no, I'm glad they commit to that. It seems like they're rarely dead set on that. So good on them.
Yeah,
Good on them for that.
that is.
Yeah.
But and in terms of Oblivion Remastered, I know since it's just me and Mike who played it, I want to do like a little quick thoughts and impressions. Obviously, both positives and negatives. Um, so Mike, I'm gonna go to you first. I know you've mostly been playing Dark Tide, but of the Oblivion Remastered you've played, what are your kind of initial thoughts and impressions, and positives and negatives?
I think it's really fun. It's definitely like because okay, so there's something I guess we'll talk about later with the whole Mike Ybarra quote. I only played about like
Mm-hmm.
2 hours worth of I almost said Obsidian of Oblivion when it came out. I remember playing it, being like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck is this? What the fuck is this speech thing? This persuading people?" And I'm still like that today, but I'm slowly getting it. My brain is slowly evolving. Um, and I just remember kind of like that's kind of neat, and I put it down, and I actually went and eventually played Skyrim, and I obviously that's when I fell in love with Elder Scrolls and yada yada yada. And I never really played Oblivion though because it's just kind of I don't know, it just never really happened. But I've always liked reading things about Elder Scrolls lore, yada yada. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm a mega fan or anything, but at least like
Sure.
Skyrim. And so really playing this remaster was my first real experience with the game. And it's just some things a little dated, maybe, but it still has that one thing I love from that era is like just get to the fucking swinging of the sword. You know what I mean? Like it has that like you're just getting in and you're hacking and slashing and shooting things with your crossbow and magic. And it's just very quick. Like I'll admit the tutorial is actually probably a bit like that's probably honestly my whole experience with that game. Like that tutorial is still not like my favorite thing. Like, cause I remember when I was a kid
Yeah.
playing that tutorial, I was like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Shut the hell up! Get me out of these sewers! Who the hell is this old man? I don't give a shit." Like, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't care. And then it's like when you get into the open world, I'm like, "Oh, I can just do whatever I want." And I love
Yeah.
that. Like that feeling of like, wow, like I exist in this world is still there, and it's gorgeous too. I'm not very happy because of the fact that DLSS on the Game Pass version of the game is currently bugged, and when I was able to get it working again via fucking uh, what is it called? Uh,
Console commands.
console commands, it's like just ghosting, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm happy for myself. Um, So yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with that. I really have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna wait until they update it again and get back into playing it. But it actually got me interested to check out Daggerfall. You're like, what? But because I found out Daggerfall had a Unity fan made remaster that also has something called Darkerfall, which adds a lot of like niceties to make it much easier to play to like newcomers and stuff. I was watching videos on it and I was like, wow, this game actually looks pretty cool. Old, but like it looks cool to me. Um, and I want to check it out. So once again, I'm not a new Elder Scrolls fan, so it doesn't really count to the question earlier. But it did like make me more interested again in like the whole world. Um, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun. Also, that game. I don't know how what Bethesda does, but they mastered like being really off-putting, and I'm not talking about because of a glitch. There was this random like cabin I found while exploring that was like just completely ransacked. I don't know what the hell happened to this place. Like there was like it was like cobwebs everywhere, tables flipped over, and like as I go to the right, I check everything. Like that's where all the tables are flipped over, cobwebs. There's like some debris, yada yada, you name it. And all of a sudden, as you walk up the staircase and you like look to your right, there's like a giant like fireplace on the staircase, and you look into it, and there's a body burnt to a crisp, and like a body of a dog burnt to a crisp. I'm like, oh, okay. And like as you keep going up, it's like every single corner of that house feels like your like death is right around that corner. Like it feels like you're about to be fucking like stabbed or like brought into hell. It was great. It was horrifying. because like it felt so suffocating, so isolating. It was I just love that feeling Bethesda can just seemingly pull off effortlessly. Like they did it in Starfield. I don't give a shit what Twitter said about Starfield. I love that game. But
Yeah.
I felt that feeling, and then I finally get to the attic, and I have a feeling a quest's going to take place here later. I just kind of have a feeling. But you get to the attic, and like there's this giant that part of that fireplace, like the chimney is going up, and it's just in the corner, and there's like a little part, like a little pathway behind it, like there's like something like something could be there, and it just, and then you get there and you just see a pile of bones, like just like fucking everywhere, and you're like, what the fuck happened here? And it was awesome. It was just like I was so freaked out. I remember hearing the boys coming, I'm out, I'm done. Like I'm not playing. I'm leaving this house. I don't care. I don't care what the like hidden quest is. I want the fuck out of here. Like it was so unnerving, and just because like I said, like the fucking body of a dog and a random person in the oven, like it was just unnerving, and like it didn't do anything. There was no music in that house either. When you went in there was no ambience except the sound of your feet like on the floor, and it was just, it just was fantastic. I loved it.
Hell yeah. I haven't seen that yet, but that sounds, I mean, sound like Psychopath. That sounds cool.
Sounds fucking awesome. Sorry.
Sounds pretty sick, bro.
Really...
But I mean, so as for myself, like if I have to, just my general thoughts and feelings, I love this. I love this shit so much. I am gonna catch up on chat, by the way. I see you guys in the chat. But I love this shit so much. Like I was like back when they announced the Oblivion remaster, or not announced it. Let me be clear on that. Back when it was first rumored after the FTC leaks.
This was like the worst kept secret in like history.
Yes.
Like every time, like I see it, it's like, oh, this game could come out tomorrow. It could come out tomorrow.
Imagine if they kept, you imagine if they kept this under wraps, and nobody knew about it, and just on last Monday they like Bethesda's like tomorrow, and it was just the fucking logo for Oblivion. Imagine if they kept that under wraps.
Man, this is why I kind of hate leaking culture in a way,
I get that.
Could you imagine, like fuck?
I appreciate it because I like to know about things and I like being excited, but I also, God, it would have been really fucking cool for them to have the moment of 100%. Nobody knows about this and we're just gonna shadow drop it.
I feel like Xbox is the worst when it comes to stuff getting leaked. Like seems like they have really
Xbox.
Bad.
I mean, Xbox did it to themselves with that whole FTC shit. I don't know, like I don't know what happened there, but that was one of the most. That's like the most unprecedented leak in gaming history.
It just seems like
just
can't
literally have all their whole business fucking leaked.
Yeah, but it seems like we can't know anything about Xbox before, and like it has to get leaked first, and then we hear about it after. Like I don't think I've ever seen anything Xbox related where it's like, whoa, that was actually a surprise. Like that's never happened.
It has to get leaked first, and then we have to go through an entire couple of months of a negative news cycle, and then Xbox has to be like, okay, I guess I'll acknowledge it. All right. But yeah, I love the game. I like my only real con for the game at the moment is performance. It doesn't really matter what you played on. I've played mostly on Series X, and I guess it's a testament to how much I enjoy the game, how much fun I'm having, that the performance, like if you really pay attention to the performance, it's horrible. It's not good. But I just don't care. I just really
that's
don't care.
One thing I want to say. That's what I like about using the program Special K, is that it helps with the frame pacing of that game and the hitching by a lot. Like I'm not going to say it's going to fix it, but I can't stop singing the praise of that program enough, dude. That program, yes, Special K, the cereal, yes, that app. It is called Special K. It like I use that program on literally everything if I can. It helps so much with broken ports. But yeah, it is a fucked port. I watched that Digital Foundry video. It's It's looking
Yeah,
spooky. It's looking
yeah.
spooky.
Like the first video Digital Foundry did, I don't know who it was, I forget. Normally I can recognize their voices, I just can't remember who did the video. But he was like, this is genuinely one of the worst performing things I've ever seen. And then like the next video, like they did one for Series X and S today, and it was like a different person. He's like, the performance is bad, but it's like kind of what I said. It's like a testament to how good the game is that nobody, for the most part, nobody really seems to care.
Mhm.
It's not a big stick, like a big talking point, or at least as big as they think it should be.
Yeah.
So I'm in that camp. Like performance is not good. Frame time spikes all over the place out in the open world. That's Unreal Engine 5. There's definitely Unreal Engine 5 open world stutter. It's very present. No, doesn't matter where you're playing it on. Doesn't matter if you're playing at 30 FPS. Doesn't matter if you're playing it at 60 FPS. It's just there. And I can only speak for myself. I really don't give a shit. I couldn't be enjoying this anymore. It's that's kind of where I'm at with this game. So getting to the chat, let's see. Ty, this is kind of a throwback to what we were talking about earlier, and I just kind of missed it because we got into our own groove. Ty says, "What type of gamers do y'all think would be attracted to Clair Obscur? With its interactive turn-based approach, can you see new players from different genres giving it a go? Like players from who like action adventure games." I'll go first on that. I would say absolutely. I mean, to your question of can I see new players from like who prefer different genres giving that a go? Yes. And I'll tell you why. Because when they first showed that off, I'm somebody who doesn't like turn-based games. It's very rare that I'll put up with a turn-based game. South Park Stick of Truth and Baldur's Gate 3 are the only things I've been able to like put up with and thoroughly enjoy. And even then, I still haven't even gotten remotely close to beating Baldur's Gate 3. I beat Stick of Truth. It was fantastic, but it's a smaller game. But like when I first saw Clair Obscur, I was like, that looks fucking sick. And it wasn't like, oh, the art looks fucking sick, which it does, or like, oh, the game looks really, really pretty, which it does. It was like when I saw the turn-based combat, I was like, that looks fucking awesome. And I've never seen turn-based combat in a game ever and thought that looks fucking cool as hell. Never said that about turn-based combat. So I think, in fact, you can see it on social media. There's a lot of people who had that exact same experience who don't care for turn-based combat, but they saw that and they're like, this looks amazing. So I think for sure it can attract players from different genres, new players from different genres.
Yeah, like I already see people on Twitter calling it like a quote unquote normie RPG,
Sure.
like the elitists, like on there, like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm better than you because I play this niche ass JRPG that's like a 7 out of 10 at best,
I'm
It's
better
like
than
those
you
type of
because I
people.
because I put up with
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. I'm better than you. It's like
Or not
it's
even
like
Final Fantasy, like those games on the side, like that Bravely Default on like the 3DS. Oh, I played that, so I'm better than you. It's
yeah,
like
it's
people
like
like that. It's like
it
okay, we
was
get it.
this.
You're better than everyone else. We get it.
You know how I know that game is
Yeah.
great? It's because we're going through the same cycle Elden Ring went through, where like myself and a lot of other people, that was their first Souls game that they really clicked with and they really enjoyed it and they couldn't stop playing it. And then you have this small community online. It was like,
Oh yeah.
actually, you guys are stupid as shit. This isn't even real. This isn't even real Dark Souls. This is trash. You guys need to play the real ones. And it's like, dude, shut up and let people enjoy things. Okay? Like
It's just people hating on things because they're popular.
because
People
it's
just hate
popular.
popular
That's
things.
it.
Yeah.
That is it. There's no like if Elden Ring came out and flopped, nobody would ever say that. Nobody would
Oh
ever
yeah.
say that.
No,
Same with
God
this
no.
game. Nobody would
Yeah.
ever say it if this game flopped. It's just
No,
like
people would be like,
people.
"Oh, you should play Expedition 33. This is like a great game." Like no one would like be calling it this normie RPG, quote unquote, that some people are calling it
Exactly.
right now. You know,
In fact,
they'd
you'd
say, like,
probably
"Oh,
have a
the
lot of
hidden gem."
people.
You know,
Yeah, exactly. You'd have a lot
yeah,
of people saying this game's. It's a shame nobody's playing this game. It's so great. I can't
yeah,
believe
exactly. But
it's
meanwhile, now
it's
people are playing it. Oh, it's like you guys should be playing these other games. You know,
yeah.
it's like,
It's
so I don't know. It's just
people are so stupid online. It's hard to take many people seriously online. To be real.
yeah.
Uh, let's see. Rachie says Clairpure is. He says he's just starting it. Maybe in 3 to 6 months they'll. Maybe I'm misreading this. He says maybe in 3 to 6 months they localize it in more languages, and if this game finds its way to Japan, poor Square Enix. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a few people, like, I don't know anything about Final Fantasy for real, but like I've seen a few people who are fans of Final Fantasy saying like this is what they hope Final Fantasy 17 is. Um,
Mhm.
but Square Enix, you know, doesn't have the best track record with its fans
That's
at the
what
moment,
it's,
so
you know.
probably not. Let's keep reading. PS5 blows. I love that name so much. I'm going to say it every time it pops up in my chat. Says, I'm not playing Expedition 33. It's trying to take Thunder away from Oblivion by being on Game Pass day and date.
That's
BS,
hysterical.
man.
That's
That's
fucking
fair.
funny.
That's fair enough. Right. Let's see. Blind says, Matt, I finished the Dark Brotherhood storyline and started the Thieves Guild. That's dope. I've not seen the Thieves Guild yet in Oblivion. I need to. I need to get to the Dark Brotherhood. Like I said, I have all these characters on Oblivion, and I've only just started sticking with one. So I'm still kind of at the beginning of things. I think I'm only like a level. What am I? Level 11 right now. So I'm still pretty early on. There's a lot of shit in that game to do, and I need to do all of it. So we'll see. Rachie says, what I hated most about the FTC was Sony was able to hide everything while Xbox was just nude. Yeah. Well, here's the thing with that. It's like, I'd say some of that is, in fact, the biggest part of that is probably Xbox's just incompetence uh, during that whole. And I don't even know if it's incompetence or like this whole, because it was from both sides, PlayStation and Xbox. There was this thing where both sides were playing the victim of, like, PlayStation was like, if Xbox gets Activision, we'll cease to exist. We're completely fucked. And then Xbox was like, if we don't get Activision, then we're fucked. And it's like,
Yeah.
like they were
Yeah.
both just playing the victim, and I guess Xbox and the midst of playing the victim just utterly fucked up and leaked everything.
Mhm.
Which not good. Um, but yeah, that whole, God, how long did that last? Like 2 years?
Yeah, it was like 2
It
years of
was
just back and forth.
was something something. I tell you what, that shouldn't have went on that long. That shouldn't have went on that long. That, like, because when that happened, they were like, oh, well, it'll be. I think it happened like late. What was it, 2021 when that happened, or 2022? I can't remember, or early
Was it?
2022.
I can't even remember.
I can't
And
remember,
then
man.
they're like, it was like early, yeah, it was early 2022, and they're like, we'll have this wrapped up by June of this
Yeah,
year.
fucking right.
Nope. It's like a full 2 years of this shit, and
It was really at the end of 2023 it finally got like resolved.
yeah, it's just, you know, I I really don't know. That whole couple years, or I guess year and a half, was a complete blur. I don't really understand what happened there. I don't even know if Xbox or PlayStation fully understands what happened there. Um, but it's over now, and Xbox is doing what they're doing, and PlayStation is doing what they're doing. So I guess in the end we all win because we're all friends, right? So
No.
uh let me see and go back to the topics here. Oh, so two final things on the Oblivion remaster. And this is something I feel like we can all kind of talk about. Um, is this something that should be pursued more often, specifically by, I mean, because remakes are already pursued very often, but specifically by Bethesda and Xbox for other Elder Scrolls and Fallout titles. Obviously, we from the FTC leaks, we know that Fallout 3 is the next one up. So we can assume that's happening. But let's say Morrowind. Let's say I know it's a joke. I know it's a meme at this point. Let's say Skyrim. Because and here, dude, here's the thing. I saw somebody say it would be awesome to see Skyrim get this treatment, and my initial reaction was to laugh, like, "Ha, another Skyrim port." But then I thought about it for a second. I was like, "Dude, if they, I'll pay like $200 for it." I'm not
I mean, wasn't
shitting
the
you.
anniversary edition like kind of like that, where they kind of
No,
upgrade the visuals and
no,
everything?
they added content. They added content, but
No, I'm
like
talking about
a
like the
full
original, like the enhanced when they brought the PS4 and
PS4.
Xbox
Yeah,
One.
yeah, they added content and they brought all the DLCs with it. So in that sense, yes. But I'm talking about like a full, because it's been what, well over a decade. It's been like 15 years since,
Well, I
or
mean, like when they
14
definitely
years.
upped the visual. They definitely got like the visuals definitely got improved. Like when
No,
they brought it to
I'm
PS4.
saying like a gameplay overhaul. Like it's been 14 years. Do a gameplay overhaul in the same way you did a gameplay overhaul. Like playing Oblivion, I don't know, Mike, I know you've played ESO. Playing
Yeah.
Oblivion, it feels like it's not the same because there's certain things in ESO that are not in Oblivion, but the animations, the movement, and like all of that stuff, third person, first person, it feels and looks very ESO. And that's not a bad thing to me. I think that's very nice. If they could do that for Skyrim, I get that the gap between Oblivion and ESO is a lot bigger than the gap between Skyrim and ESO. But just that little jump from Skyrim to ESO with like the combat and the first and third person animations, I think would make a huge difference in Skyrim.
Personally, I think they should save that though. Like if they're gonna remake Skyrim again, they should definitely
Sure,
save
sure.
that for
Gotta wait
Yeah,
for the Elder Scrolls
definitely
6 to
like
flop. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
sure. Not right
Dude,
now yet,
I'd
but
actually like my fucking life would be over.
Elder
That game.
Scrolls 6 comes out, it's a 43 on Metacritic.
Dude, I might actually have it might be it for me.
Bro. Oh my god. Yeah, that'd be tragic. But like I'm just thinking like maybe next generation or something like that. Cuz I mean Oblivion's what, almost 20 years old. That came out in '06. So
Mhm.
like almost 20 years old. Give Skyrim its 20 years, 19 20 years. But do the same thing, please. Please for Skyrim. But I guess one question I'll ask you guys is, since we know Fallout 3 exists as a remaster or has existed at some point and presumably still does, when do you think we see a Fallout 3 remaster? And also, I think this one's obvious, but do you think it will be by Virtuous, just like Oblivion was?
Uh, good question. I if
I
Skyrim
mean,
one comes.
I could see it. I mean, it depends if they want to do it on Unreal Engine, all that kind of stuff too, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I could see also Todd being like. I mean, well, he was also involved. I could genuinely see Todd being like, no, listen up, listen here, motherfucker. Like, like
Right.
it has to be done this very specific way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, Fallout 3 is Fallout 3. You know, I think that they might take it a bit more seriously. Maybe I don't know. So I
yeah,
don't know. Like
anything's possible.
so, who
Yeah.
really knows at the end of the day? But I don't know. Maybe if it's coming out soon though, like if it let's say it's like all Fallout 3 remastered next year, like I don't think it would be by Virtuous because I think they might I don't know, maybe it might be too soon or too tight and then maybe they want someone else to work on it
Mm-hmm.
to like to so split up the work or something. I don't know. It really because I never really even knew what these guys were until like recently. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Like I don't know what the hell did Virtuous do
Their
before
track
this.
record's funny because, like, the way I've seen people talk about them recently is like they have a lot of prestige when it comes to this sort of thing.
I mean, they're good at
However,
leaking things, that's for sure. But
well, yeah, they're fucking unprecedented at that.
yeah.
But however, they also did the Outer Worlds remaster, which if you played the original Worlds versus the Outer Worlds remaster, like there's some things in there that I like that they changed. I like they made the color grading of the game was uh incredibly saturated in the original, and they kept the saturation but kind of peeled it back a little bit so it wasn't just like violently bright colors in your eyes all the time. Also, kind of like with Oblivion Remastered, there was some serious performance issues, and there were
What are
also
we talking
like
about at the moment? Sorry, I got
Outer
distracted because I was trying
Worlds,
to find some.
Outer Worlds
Oh God,
Remastered.
Jesus, dude, the original Outer Worlds burnt my eye sockets. I couldn't play it. I tell people that all the time. It was the remaster where I could finally play it. No, people like think I'm fucking with them. That game, I will never be able to explain it. Hurt my eyes, and not because it was an ugly game. It was gorgeous, but the amount of how like the color saturation was, and like how like every single like retina of my eye was being like expanded because of the color. Like I had like a massive headache every time I was done playing it, and turning down the brightness wasn't enough because it just made the game harder to see in general.
Harder to see,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? And I was finding
Yep.
like some posts about it. Someone's like, "Hey, I have this issue. Like it hurts." I'm like, "Okay, it's not just me then. What the hell's wrong with us?" But like,
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so weird. But like that's what the Outer Worlds remaster helped with, was the fact that it tried to have like that like lighting system, and I mean, other than the fact that you could be out in the middle of nowhere and it was literally you couldn't see. It was actually kind of freaky. You could be out in like the middle of like nowhere and there's like no natural light, and all you would have is the moon to light the way, and it's like kind of cool in that way. That game didn't have a flashlight, so it was like
Yeah.
it was kind
Yeah,
of spooky.
I think the remaster improved on certain things, but it also like there were parts of the remaster that looked worse than the original. Just like
Oh yeah,
models and stuff like that. Like it was like one of the few remasters, or one of the few remasters I cared about, where it was like this is arguably worse than the original.
yeah.
And that wasn't great. Like that was my experience with Virtuous before Oblivion Remastered. So like when I saw they were on Oblivion Remastered, or when it was rumored they were on Oblivion Remastered, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm excited, but we'll see." And then other people I've seen them talk about Virtuous online, like they're amazing. They did all these amazing things. I'm just like, "Oh, okay. Well, then I guess I'm confident." But like, yeah, I mean, I think for the Fallout 3 remaster, again, if it still exists, um I think we probably don't see that until sometime after Elder Scrolls 6. Like I feel like it'd be weird for us to get this remaster and then Fallout 3 remastered, and then they're like, here's Elder Scrolls 6, as opposed to like, here's Oblivion Remastered to hold you over for a couple years. Then you get Elder Scrolls 6, then you'll get Fallout 3 remastered, and then you'll get Fallout 5 in a couple years. I think that pattern makes a lot more sense than anything. But we'll see. And then the final question on Oblivion, Mike, this is to you specifically, and I guess Tuan as well, just based on what you've seen. Would you consider this more of a remaster or a remake?
Oh fuck.
It's definitely a remake
Jeez.
for sure. Like no, I wouldn't even like think about it. It's definitely a remake. I mean, it's on Unreal Engine 5, right? You know, they've rebuilt the game on a new engine, so yeah, it's a remake. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to really
Is
say
the reason
it.
why they're calling it a remaster because using the original code, like the full-on original code, or
That's
whatever,
a
or
that's a
something? I don't
that
know.
is yeah, that is a theory I've seen where people said it's called a remaster because it still uses the Gamebryo engine for the logic. Everything else is Unreal Engine, but they still use the original engine for all the logic in the game. So they still call it a remaster. I'm kind of with Twan on this. This is a remake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like at least for me, when I see like yeah, like the game pretty much being rebuilt for the most part, then yeah, you're remaking it. Like
I
you're
agree.
remaking things. So,
I
uh,
definitely agree with that.
like if
Uh,
remaster is like you have the actual original game and you port that and you just maybe now it's in widescreen. Now it's in higher resolution. The frame rate's better. That's a remaster to me. Not
yeah.
like you're changing all the models. You're changing the engine that's running on. You're changing that's you got that yeah, it's a remake at that point. That's the way I look at it personally.
Yeah. I think it might have been Raichi when I was streaming Oblivion Remastered who said, like, a remaster for Oblivion would essentially be what Xbox Series consoles did for Oblivion, like the OG Oblivion, where it's like, okay, it's up-resed, it runs at 60 FPS now, and
Yeah,
that's it. Like that would be the remaster.
no, 100%.
Versus this to me is a remake.
And not
You
only
you
that, they're charging for $50 and like I mean, I feel like
which is
Nintendo should like
which
take
is
notes,
crazy.
You have like Donkey Kong fucking HD on the Switch and that's $60. It just
If
doesn't
anything,
make
they'll
sense.
be like, take note
Yeah.
that they get away with more.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Right,
honestly. Yeah.
right.
Anyway, I
Nintendo's
heard
just
that
like,
it's
look
not
at
even
these
I heard
idiots.
that's not even I
yeah,
heard that's not even that good of a remaster too, like Donkey Kong HD.
yeah,
So
that's
it's
I
like
remember that. I
and
remember
they're
that.
just charging $60 for it,
I'll tell
and
you
then yeah,
what, the fact that Oblivion was only $50, it made it so like it made it so much easier for me to buy that twice. Like if that was
yeah.
$70, I would have
Holy
still
shit,
bought the
you bought? Wait, you bought Oblivion twice? I thought you bought it just
on
on.
it
Okay,
on Xbox and on Steam.
okay.
Um, and if that was $70, I'd have bought it the first time, but
Mhm.
I would have had to think about it before buying.
Yeah.
I would have like actually sit down and think, do I
Mm.
need to buy this again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Versus it being $50, I was like, hey, fuck it,
Yeah, I'll just buy it twice. I don't care.
whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that
So
was
yeah, in
fucking
a
great price,
way,
honestly.
them charging at $50 actually made them more money when you think about it. You know,
Probably did.
because they got two sales. And that's more than $70. You know.
They definitely did for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely did for me. Um, but yeah, that wraps up Oblivion. Oh my god, that scared the shit
Yeah,
out of me. I'm
this is
not
really
gonna
cool.
lie to you. I'm literally playing Oblivion, and I was about to walk into an Oblivion gate, and I heard that, and I'm like, what the fuck? Um,
All
but
right, we have to talk about the real thing of this episode and show. Like, we need to.
oh, that's right, Mike. We need to get to Ghost of Yote's release date announcement.
What the fuck
Thank
is
you for
even that?
thank you for bringing
Shut
that
the hell
up.
up! No, no, Doom.
Ghost
No,
of
I don't even know what the hell that
Yote
is. I don't
release
even know
date
what that
announced.
is. What is that?
It's the
Is
Ghost
what?
of Tsushima sequel, Mike.
I
Yeah.
fucking didn't even play the first one. I don't give a shit about that. I'm talking about Doom: The
Mike.
Dark Ages. They released a new trailer
Oh
of
yeah,
a
I
Cthulian.
guess Doom the Dark Ages released a
Man, I will leave
story
this show
trailer.
right now.
I
It wasn't a
guess they
story trailer, mind you. It
well
was a
that's
combination of
what
a
the
tech
that's
demo.
what the article told me, Mike. And
Oh, your
VGC
fake
never
news.
lies. VGC never lies to me.
But did you watch the
Um
trailer?
I watched part of it.
I'm
I
gonna
saw
leave
it
right now.
I saw it
I'm
pop
out.
I
I'm just kidding.
saw it pop up. Well, the thing is with Doom, I don't need to watch a trailer because I already know. Like, it's like a foregone conclusion. I know
Dude,
that game
I
is
want
going
to
to
say
be
real
great.
quick, Cthulhu,
I did see that.
Cthulhu. Jesus,
Cut.
Cthulhu-like world and Cthulhu. And then I think they said there's gonna be like 22 like campaign levels now. For reference, Doom Eternal had like 12 or 13.
Yeah, it's going to be
Um,
way bigger.
and like the levels are supposed to be like longer too and like more open and you know and they said there's so much more like they haven't even showed us yet and they don't want to really show. I just dude, I just
Mm-hmm.
okay now
Well,
talk about Ghosts of Yodels now.
well, we could talk about Doom.
Ghost of
I mean,
Yotel?
No, I'm just kidding. I know you're screwing with me, but no, dude, I can't wait, and I'm happy they showed. It was really cool they showed it on PS5 as well. That
that's
was
what
actually really interesting.
that's
That
what
was
I
really
saw.
interesting.
I saw a lot of people freaking
Fall.
out about like Can you believe they showed like it? And I'm like, yeah, to me. I'm like, that's kind of silly, but it's like, I mean, if Microsoft's whole thing now is their multi-platform, which let's be honest, they are at
Mm.
this point,
Yeah.
then it's like, why not? Because here's the thing, my logic on that is like, you look at when a game drops a trailer, Xbox and PlayStation both have trailers for it on their channel. Which one gets more views? It's
Yeah,
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
It's
Sorry, I
PlayStation.
honestly kind of just dissociated for a second, so I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry. No, but like, I'm pretty sure
No,
PlayStation that was like got uploaded on PlayStation first, so I wouldn't be surprised if like PlayStation requests. I don't know. I feel like
they might have.
wasn't that like trailer uploaded first on PlayStation's channel?
I'll have to
Like,
check it, but
I'm pretty sure that was
I'll
uploaded
check it.
first there too.
I'll check it.
Go on.
But yeah, I was saying like if both companies upload a trailer for a game, whenever they do that, like Expedition 33, if I look up Expedition 33 on PlayStation and Xbox, it's gonna have more views on PlayStation. So
Mhm.
like, if what Mike is saying is true, which I would imagine there's probably some truth to that, where it's like PlayStation's like, hey, can we get, like, this is a big game, it is coming to our platform, can we get like access for a trailer or something like that on our platform? And for Microsoft, it's like, okay, that gives us more exposure, and for PlayStation, it's like, okay, we get even more association with the game. It's a win-win for both things. So like, to me, I saw people freaking out, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's kind of par for the course at this point, honestly, to me.
Mhm.
With the way Microsoft is doing things. Doom trailer. I'm looking this up right now. But I mean, in fact, I'm actually gonna watch this real quick while we're talking. Um, but yeah, dude.
I mean, for me personally, the moment like Xbox announced Forza Horizon 5 on PS5, I was like, "Yep, the messaging's clear." They don't give
Yeah,
a fuck. They
they've
don't give a
already
shit. Like that, they already threw that. They already put down all their cards at this point. It's like it's very clear what they're doing. So
exactly.
it's
So
you know.
I don't get too upset about all this. Like, I'm looking for. In fact, let me. I got it up on PlayStation's channel. Let me go to Xbox and see if they have a Doom trailer. Releasing recently. Jesus, what a fucking mess. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Matt doesn't know how to speak English. Guys, roast him in the chat, please.
Hell's in the chat. Yeah, Xbox doesn't have a trailer up for Doom in the past 2 days. So yeah, I mean, it released on. It was a PlayStation trailer. I also saw it released with IGN, and that's where it released. But yeah, the game looks fucking sick. Comes out May 15th. Unless you do the early access with the premium edition or premium upgrade or whichever way you want to do that. Which Mike, it's 2 days early access.
2 days
Two
early.
girlies, two girlies,
Girls.
days
Now
access.
I'm absorbing Matt's whatever.
Observing
I didn't say
Merle's
absorbing. I did
observing
not say that.
Merle.
Okay, Matt. Just keep going. Keep talking. Keep stuttering. Fucking keep making fun of you. I stutter so much. Today, Junior.
I don't
What I
even know
was
what we're
saying.
talking about anymore.
Today, Junior.
I
Doom.
don't even know. I don't even know.
Dark
Okay,
Ages.
okay,
We're
yeah,
talking about
dude.
Doom.
It's kind of It is kind of interesting though. They didn't upload anything for the Xbox. Obviously, they can't show the PlayStation stuff, but it's kind of like maybe that's the whole point though, is that they don't
Yeah.
need
Focusing on
to
the
just
platform that's
do
going to sell
that.
the game.
It's like, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, are there games up for the highest bidder now? I'm just kidding.
Mhm.
I I
But
think at this point for Xbox, to be real, I think their whole thing is like, obviously they'll sell you the game. Like, if you want to buy the game on their platform, that's fantastic. They'll happily take your money. But their thing is Game Pass at this point. And like, the way they treat Game Pass is like, it markets itself, which I would argue it markets itself great to everyone. Like, to me, you and everyone in this community, it markets itself great. But to new players, it could be better. But I think their logic is like, well, we have a service that markets itself. It's going to be in the service. People will see it. They'll as soon as you turn on your Xbox, they're going to flash a fucking giant screen for Doom and your face, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, the new Doom. I'll play it. And I feel like that's their logic. Whether it's right or not, is up for debate. But I think that's the way they're thinking about this. Um, let's see. Did y'all hear about the Doom comic book trailer that only releases on the PlayStation channel? Doom comic book trailer. Is that?
I don't know if that's a
not,
meme.
I don't know.
I'll Google it.
Know.
That has to be a meme.
Doom
that has
comic
to be.
book trailer. Let's find out.
It has to be. I don't believe that at all. I'm not even Googling it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I'm not looking.
I don't. Like, I just type that in and I'm seeing like Doctor Doom, Marvel Doctor Doom. Like, I don't know, Tae. I don't know. But he says Xbox needs better control and synergy with these studios and publishers. I would. It's hard to disagree with that. You'd probably have to agree with that. I
don't think Xbox knows what they're doing at this point.
I think Xbox should buy Nintendo. End the show now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything's they just kind of completely like do whatever whenever, and it's kind of like
they're just winging it, They're only
it's a little spooky. It's a little spooky, but
honestly, like, yeah, it's just
I don't know if it's really paid off many times, but I
don't know.
Yeah,
we kind of lost Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, they're doing whatever it is they're doing, and whether it works or not,
I would be surprised if there's like a Bethesda game that launches and it's like PlayStation timed exclusive at this point. It's like, oh, yep, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like
I would be surprised at that. I would be surprised at that.
But I actually remember people saying that a while ago, that they'd be like a publisher for hire kind of a thing for PlayStation.
Could you imagine if Xbox was like, oh, PlayStation gave us a good amount of money.
I can't. I just can't see that because that's just so unbelievably insane.
I don't know. I just feel like Xbox is they're so.
No, yeah, so
like,
right.
I could just totally see them doing that. I don't know why. Like,
no, I know. And Phil still say how it's beneficial to the Xbox player.
Yeah, it's like we believe this is the right call. Or so, I don't know,
played in 7 years. Yeah. Actually, you're paying for every PlayStation player's copy. Give us your money. No, but yeah, it's funny. Buy a game, pay for a ponies game. Oh my god, where's Bill?
P4P.
Bill would like that.
Pay for ponies.
P for P. Oh god, oh lord, I can't even. Stop. All right, that's done. Go.
But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Xbox is doing whatever they're doing. Whatever I say online or in a video or on a podcast, they're not gonna stop doing it. Because obviously doing what they're doing, they're seeing some sort of money, they're seeing some sort of revenue that wasn't there before to make them continue doing what they're doing. And as long as that's the case, whatever I or anyone else says on a podcast isn't gonna matter until they stop seeing money from what they're doing. They'll just keep doing it. So, and as long as I get like my Oblivion remaster, as long as I get Elder Scrolls 6, as long as I get the next Halo, please, for the love of Christ, show me the next Halo. We kind of know it's the remake. Just announce it. Just get it done. Announce it,
but
please.
I think what most people are worried about is just the fact that if Microsoft just continues releasing games on other platforms and they make way more money selling those games on those other platforms, like some people think like, man, they might not even care about the Xbox consoles anymore, because it's like, man, we're making all this money off these consoles.
Here's what I would say to that.
Off Xbox.
I think as long as Microsoft cares about the cloud, which it seems like they very much do, there's going to be an Xbox console. Because they need it, they need the hardware to put in the cloud. So like as long as they're developing that hardware to put in the cloud, you might as well be selling that console alongside of it. Now, whenever or if ever they decide, hey, we're not interested in the cloud anymore, then I'd probably start to worry about the console.
Yeah,
at that point. Fair. So we'll see, but I don't think that's gonna happen for a while. In fact, I
I
think
think we at least got this generation at the very least, you know. So
we got this generation. I think we have another generation, and by like I said, if my theory is right, which it could entirely be wrong, but if my theory is right, I would like cloud's only going to grow over time. I would imagine, unless something catastrophic happens, Xbox isn't backing out of that anytime soon. So there's no reason for them to stop making hardware. Now the question's going to be, is their hardware going to be made entirely by them, or are they going to like piecemeal it out to like, hey, Asus, you want to make an Xbox? And Asus makes an Xbox or whatever. Like that's something I could see happening. In fact, I think it probably will happen next generation too.
I don't know,
Uh,
man. But the thing is, though, I just don't see that working out, honestly, unless you want to make it a very niche thing,
well,
you
that's the
know.
thing. It will
Like
be a niche
like
thing because
historically,
the
it's just never really worked out, you know, because it's usually expensive to do that, and
yeah, but that's
yeah,
the
you know,
thing. The Xbox is already niche at this point. Like I love
yeah,
it. Like Ham loves Xbox. Like
yeah,
I have friends in my friend group who like Xbox and stuff, but like it's niche at this
yeah,
point in 2025. The Xbox is a niche console.
yeah.
Um, so I think in that regard, it could absolutely like I don't see why it wouldn't work, or at least
Mhm,
I don't see why it would work any worse than it does now. Say
yeah.
that. Um, but Ty says they don't care about Xbox consoles anymore. They will eventually move the console arm to other manufacturers like Asus and yeah, like I could see them having, they make a very specific kind of Xbox from Microsoft. And then if you want something more powerful or even less powerful, then you can go to Asus, you can go to Lenovo and pay more or pay less depending on whatever you want. Um, but
So it's kind of be like a Steam box scenario,
yeah, that's
Steam machine,
that's kind of that's
or
kind of
like
where I
a
see them at this
Panasonic
point.
3DO. Yeah,
Yeah, that's actually a really good
yeah,
example of that. But like that's kind of where I see them at this point. Like I like the days of like, hey, we're gonna compete with PlayStation console for console. That's not a thing anymore, and it's
yeah.
certainly not a thing with Nintendo. It is certainly not a thing with Nintendo. So like,
It seems like a lot of people are thinking like, oh, the Switch 2, this is the one. They're gonna go head to head with Sony. Like I already see like Nintendo fans and PlayStation fans fighting already. You know,
oh yeah,
like
probably. Especially
so
now that
people say
Nintendo's
like
got great third party support. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah, for
They got like
sure.
a somewhat capable machine now. You know, so
Yeah.
I think the it's getting closer. You know, like that gap is like starting to close on them now. So
Hmm.
like yeah, because it's just crazy seeing because like it was mostly for the longest time, it was mostly like Xbox and PlayStation fans like kind of you know fighting each other, right? And now it looks like that might be Nintendo and PlayStation fans soon, you know, beating
Yeah.
each other up. So especially with Xbox mostly kind of just being on the sidelines now. That's what it seems like. It almost seems like the roles are gonna switch soon, where it's gonna be Xbox on the sidelines and now Nintendo and PlayStation fighting. Meanwhile, it was the opposite for the most part before. So
I mean, that's what it's
yeah,
looking like. It's looking like
yeah,
Xbox isn't really interested in fighting with any. I mean, they're going to
yeah,
be supporting both of those things. So it's like
yeah.
I don't think they're too interested in fighting with anyone at this point.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna do our own thing. We're gonna do this cloud, this Game Pass, and
Mhm.
you guys fight, you guys do your console war kind of thing, you know. So
Keep the console war alive. Okay, so the final thing we'll talk about, and we've actually gone over way over our normal time at this point. But final thing we'll talk about, and this one will be pretty quick. Um, I don't even know if you care. I know Mike doesn't give a shit about this, but Twan, I don't know if you care about this at all. Ghost of Yote release date announcement. Do you care at all about that?
I mean, I still got to play the first one, so I guess that's will
Okay.
tell you how much I
Okay, so
care.
you don't get, so this is going to be really short. So all I'm going to
Yeah.
say is October 2nd, 2025 for the
Alright.
Ghost of Yote release date. They dropped a small trailer, and I got to be honest, I haven't seen it. I'm excited in the sense like it's a new game from Sucker Punch, but
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm not dying to play this game. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
Um, kind of that feeling, honestly.
Yeah.
But
But
I
you
guess
played
I mean
Shadows, right? Earlier this year.
Shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed
Assassin's
Shadows.
Creed
I
Shadows.
didn't beat
And
it.
we said that's
That
kind
game
of
is way.
similar.
That game is so damn big. I'm nowhere close to being that game, but I did play it, and I do enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So I know a lot of people are saying that was kind of like they're kind of wanting to compete with each other. That new Ghost game and the Assassin's Creed Shadow. It looks like at least the it's a good thing they didn't come out around the same time because I think a lot of people were worried that was going to happen. So yeah, it seems like Ubisoft kind of got a little bit of a break there. So it's good on them. Yeah.
well, I think. I mean, based off of excitement, I was more excited for Shadows than I am for Ghost of Yotei.
Okay.
Just me personally. I think Ghost of Yotei will do really well, but I'm not dying to play it. But I mean, that's the last topic, guys. I've got nothing else. We're about an hour and a half right now into the show. We usually go for about an hour. So
Yeah,
I've been
I mean,
talking about the show for 4 months. I'm just
I
kidding.
know you had Expedition 33, but I guess we already talked a lot about that game anyway. So
we did talk quite a bit about Expedition 33. Um
oh, PlayStation removes exclusives. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
no.
Yeah, my
we're
headset's dying. I'm gonna be honest with you.
we're
My headset's dying, and I gotta use the
we're
toilet. So
we're doing the outros.
All right, I
So
guess so.
so
yes, no. But you're crying.
Mike,
You
get us started on the
can find me
outros.
kicking Twan's ass later tonight. No, you can find me here next whenever we do this show. Hopefully Sunday,
Sunday.
and I hopefully will be streaming on Twitch. I'm sometimes streaming there again at Hard Days Mike. That's all I really am. I don't really do social media much anymore. I just kind of survive. That's kind of my day to day.
Nice. Tuan. Let him know where
Oh
to
yeah,
find you.
yeah. I'll be on this show Sundays. I'm on Twitter, and it's me Twan. I'm on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch.
Okay,
I'm on.
okay. No one's adding you on Twitch, Tuan. Let's calm down. Let's calm down,
Yeah, I
bud.
know, right? Like, who the hell's they think he? Dude, having to enter in a freaking your social security number to add something. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah,
no,
it's like
get out of
a
here.
12-digit ass code or something like
Freaking
that.
12 digits. You gotta enter your freaking like zip code as well. Get out of here. No one's adding you on that
Yeah.
shit.
What's your gamer tag on Dreamcast, Tuan?
Yeah. What's
Honestly,
your
it'd probably be
dial up?
easier to add me on Dreamcast than the Switch. So,
It's
Jesus.
yeah.
tragic.
With
All
your
right.
parents holding your hand at the same time. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's about it for
that's
me.
where you can find Tuan. You can find me here, just like they said, every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern for this show. And then Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Two Player Podcast, myself and Ham solo videos every week. Streams every week, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday. This week, unless something drastic changes, it'll almost certainly be Oblivion all 3 of those days. But that's where you can find me. We're going to get up out of here. Thank you all for watching. We will see you next week. Goodbye.